Good morning. Let me close this window. Actually, I thought there was construction going on, but maybe there isn't, so leave it open for now. Beta testing is not going yet. We haven't done our beta yet. Alrighty. In a previous stream, which probably isn't on YouTube, in case you're watching this on YouTube, I had bemoaned the way that Microsoft changed around where the libraries live that you have to link against. And, well, we showed that the Sokoban game has its own custom link command. And for now, to get around these problems on our team, we just hard-coded the folders where to look for the libraries, right? That's what we have been using in the office recently. And of course, this isn't going to work for very long for general users of the compiler. So it's been on my list for a little while, like a week or so, to upgrade this to a more general thing, to like do the research to figure out like how to find this, right? And one thing that I could do more that's more, so there's two separate libraries here, right? There's like the Visual Studio Runtime and the Windows kits. And well, one thing I could do is just assume that Windows kits lives in this place and then search through there for the newest kit number and then add UM and UCRT and hope they don't change those. But one thing more general that I could do is look up how you're supposed to find this in the registry, because there probably is a way, and I just don't know what that's supposed to be, and so forth. This morning, Ryan Saunderson, who did some programming on Zig, linked me to a bunch of code of his on GitHub that basically does the same thing. This is in C, and it's not really my style of code, so we're not really going to copy it. But we can use this as a resource to like know what to do. So for example, you know, he's querying the registry for Visual Studio. It looks like this is earlier versions of Visual Studio. Let's look for the Windows kits, because it's two separate problems, finding the kits and finding the Visual Studio runtime. Yeah, so here he's doing some registry stuff. And okay, well, if the Windows 10 kits are in one key value and Windows 8.1 kits are in another one, because you can't just put them in the same place, and then you try to find the folder. So we're going to implement the equivalent of this. We need to, of course, oh, that's from last night. We need to, of course, do it twice anyway, because one has to be in the new language so that programs can use it. and one has to be in the compiler so that the compiler can compile things without needing all the VCVAR's garbage. So that's all fine. We're going to start by doing the version in the new language, just because that's the version that I have working already in this custom link command with these hard-coded paths. So the goal is going to be to swap out these hard-coded paths for things that get queried when we run. And, well, that's the basic story. We're not going to get all this done today. I mean, maybe we can get the Windows kit query done. I have to go into work and do other work, but we're gonna start making this happen. Did I? I think I closed my Twitch chat. No, I didn't. Okay. Is it possible to use Clang for these libraries? Not really, because you could use maybe Clang for these, but not for these. And for these, so the thing is, we're going to try to remove the dependencies on most or all of these eventually. So in the end, in principle, we shouldn't need to link to any Visual Studio Runtime libraries to build a basic executable. However, if you ever link to somebody's library that was compiled in C, then maybe you still need that. So we're going to need a way for users to add that back. I don't know. It's just a mess. I don't know what the best way is to do that. I don't understand why C and C++ people keep making a bigger mess every year. It's crazy. Okay. So the things that we need, so if we look in the code here, that Ryan thankfully sent me, well, we need some APIs that we don't even have access to yet because we don't have, we need reg open key, reg query value. We already have find first file, find next file. We use the W versions of these, so that'll be a little different. Is there a reg close here? Does he close the registry? I don't know how the registry works. I have never queried the registry in Windows. I probably have, but it's so long ago that I don't remember anything about it. Opens the specified registry key. Note the key names are not case sensitive. Performs transacted operations. We don't care about that. I mean, in principle, everybody should actually care about that, because what if somebody installs a kit while you're doing this? But, yeah. I mean, I guess this only matters if you open multiple keys that need to be synced with each other, I guess. Right. Well, let's just sort of put this. What the hell is an L status? Look at all these stupid types I'm going to have to define. Dude, Windows is so horrible. Okay. So what's he querying? H key local machine. So we're going to need that. We're going to need let's copy this as an example of what we're going to need. Okay, so God, look at this giant craziness. Okay. So we need that, and then we need reg query value x a. Assume, yeah, lowercase k. Okay, so I guess I'm going to define all these types, right? God, what garbage. Okay. And then, is there a W? There is. So this is a weird thing of like, I don't usually like using the A functions anymore. Let's just type these in and then we'll see. What the hell? God. All right. All right. You said you won't write an assembler. What exactly is an assembler if you don't have one? So in the x64 backend, we emit machine language instructions, okay? But we don't go from a text representation to machine language instructions. And that's a somewhat different thing. And then to do inline assembler in a compiler, you not only need to go from a text representation into machine language instructions, you need to sync that somehow with your main language. So like, you need to know how to read parameters that were passed into the procedure or local variables or something. So it's just a different situation, right? Like even, like assemblers, you just say MOV for a move instruction, right? But there's a lot of different move instructions on x64, and the back end just uses the number for the right one that it wants. Whereas for the front end, you have to like look at what are they moving into what, and then determine which move instruction it is and all that. So yeah, it's different. I don't know if you finished the math function yesterday, but if you didn't, check out Ginger Bell's GB Math. We didn't finish it. I just played around with Floor for a while. What I decided I'm going to do is we're just going to do intrinsics for those math functions anyway. We're not actually going to implement them because we don't. The only reason you actually want straight up implemented math functions like that is if you want very pedantic specified bit exact behavior, which is something we should support eventually, but it's not in our use case anytime soon. And all processors have basically everything we need on the processor, so why pretend that they don't? You know what I'm saying? L status is along. Anyway. Like, I'm going to assume that we actually should use the W versions of these. So let's just do that. Let's just suffer the pain and do that. Wait, there is no reg open key XW? Wait, it's on the same page. Okay. Key LPC, so it's the same as you would expect. It's just got a wide string. Subkey is a wide string. What are we doing for our wide strings? Yeah, we're just saying pointer to U16. Okay. Okay. Let's make sure that red query value XW is the same. Yeah. Dude, I don't even know. Okay. Fine. This is fine. Can we compile with these? Oh, no, because we haven't defined all those frickin' types like regsam and crap. What the hell is a regsam? Whoops. Okay, we're going to need some of these. All right. Well, key notify. Dude, I don't even know. This is bananas. It's bananas. Okay. Next. What the hell's a reg sam? We don't know. It's a PH key. We don't know. All right. Great documentation. This is just going to be a handle, right? Dude. No. I don't do anything with the registry, so I can't like go to declaration and search windows.h. Oh my god. A pointer to an H key. Oh, that makes sense. Obviously. And an H key is a handle. Okay. Dude, I hate that Windows did all this. They just made such a mess. Okay, what the hell's a reg sam? It's a U-long. Great. Thanks, guys. I don't have U-long. U32. Boy, 32 bits sure is long. L status. That's a long as well. I'm sure. What is an L status? Someone out there is defining L status to be long. That's good enough for me. God. Dude, this is like pulling teeth for me. I just hate this stuff so much. All right. Recompile. Great. Yeah, I know it's long in the Intel manual. That doesn't matter. Oh, a long is... Someone's saying it's U32? No, if you say long by default, that's signed. It's not unsigned. What am I referring to with all this? The names, etc. Yeah, all these garbage names that Windows defines. Like the fact that they say LP for something being a pointer and do that. And they still do that, and they didn't phase it out like frickin' 25 years ago. It's crazy. And then just the fact that they have to define all these types, like, it's bananas. how would I design this API differently? Okay. Well, now we could try to use this. So, oh, we don't have HKey local machine yet. We need that stuff. Predefined keys. Thanks for not telling me the value. So I'm trusting someone's randomly pasted code. winreg.h. So we can go look at winreg.h. If we even can find it anymore. I don't even know where that is in my hard drive. Let's try finding it. So not there. C, program files x86, Visual Studio. I don't know. Let's just try here. Nope. Okay. Is that in Windows kits? I don't think so. I didn't. It is. All right, look at all these winreg.h's. Look, I can't tell which is which because it doesn't give me a little thing to pull this to the right. It's the year 2018, and Windows is more concerned with making sure you update than they are with you knowing what fucking file. All right, this is fine. Okay. Just for talking to the registry is 1,500 lines, although it's like 1 parameter per line. Like, look at this. This is totally unreadable. Look at that. How are you supposed to know what the hell is going on here? In. Thanks for marking all your parameters as in parameters, guys. That really helps me. Jesus. Okay. 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 Registry stuff should be broken into a different file, question mark. And of registry stuff for now. Okay. Well, I gotta kill off some of these buffers. Okay. So I don't know if we have all of these. And then I think I got this wrong. Oh, that's an H key. Okay. Let's see if we have all those. H key local machine. Wanted pointer to void given S64. Oh, of course. Thanks, guys. I think this will work. Yeah. All right. So well, I need to finish my print statement. RC0 key 2A4, did that work? This returns 0 probably. Okay. Error file not found, etc. Okay, great. So we can do this. Key. UTF-8 to wide, that, no, no, and we want a pointer to a buffer, so I don't know, like 8,000. Why am I, what, my brain just isn't working. The whole reason I typed that was so I could use it. Okay, right, and then, so we query the value. If RC then result string y to UTF-8 buff print found value, comma, buff. Oh, result string, right? Something like that. Type mismatch. Wanted pointer to U8 given. Yeah, that's wrong because this is the W version. These are such misleading parameter names. This is like, okay, wait. Hold on. This is the data inside the key, which I guess is going to be wide characters, but we don't have a guarantee of that because for this case, it's going to be wide characters. All right, length. So much noise going on outside. Okay, I gotta close that window now. Oh wait, no, it's just the bus. It'll be gone soon. All right. Type mismatch in equals left type S32, right type what? Oh, I just forgot to return the value here. Right. Those are both L statuses. Okay, well, hey look, we found the value. All that just to know where this lives. But we got that now. Okay. That's success. That's enough to feel like we made progress for today. So now let's actually, instead of having this be spam, let's say, let's start making this a thing. We're going to go into our Windows resources place, which is where we like set the icon and the manifest, which may not be the best place, but we'll refactor it later if we find a better place for it. How to find the Windows kits folder so you can link against it. Okay, so we're going to say find Windows 10 kit root right? So actually, I think the only difference is going to be this. Let's just see. So, yeah, he does this with just kits root 10 and then kits root 8.1, and everything else is just different. So he's like preferring path 10 and then path 8.1, and maybe the Windows 8.1 file structure is different. Anyway, so okay. All right. Kits root 8, 1. Okay. So right now we just care about the newest one. Like if somebody wants to specify which one to use, they can do that separately. Okay, so we do this stuff. And we don't care why we failed. If we failed, we just failed. Why do UTF-8 of key? No. Of data, right? Okay, that's starting to look slightly more respectable. So well, okay, now I'm closing that window. Let's actually, for now, we're going to search both no matter what. Does that load? Not all control paths return a value. Right. Oops. That was a fire truck just parked and chilling outside my window. Why? I have no idea. No idea. Oh, it's Ginger Bill. Okay. So we're doing that. So now let's call that what's it? Oh, that's in file scope. Oops. Ten root, blah, 8 root, blah. I didn't put new lines. Okay, so we find them in both cases. So that's good. That's good. Let's put new lines just so we're respect. So what happens when fire trucks come outside my window? I forget the new lines. All right, great. So we find these things. So what's he doing? He's going in the lib folder and find first file. Find next file. He's looking for this doesn't look right to me. Like, he's looking for any version where any one of these numbers is higher than a previous number. That's not right. Unless I'm really missing something. Because, you know, you can have a lower major version number and a higher minor version number and show up later, and this code will pick that one. So that's not... That is not how it should go. I don't know if lexicographic ordering is the right thing either, because they could have different numbers of digits for whatever reason. I don't know. But this isn't right. Unless I'm really confused about something, this isn't right. Okay, so if it's an 8 path, okay, yeah, if it's a Windows 8 path, then it's like a separate naming scheme. Okay. So he's looking for the highest version path, which is basically what I was going to do. Actually, I will settle for any right now because I literally do not care which one. We just need one. So we'll start by just finding any of them. So now my question is, here's the thing. All our APIs are in UTF-8 and all that. And we have file utilities where we're like, you know, visit everything. And I could use that. It'll be slower than explicitly writing this loop, but maybe that's fine. I'm going to do that rather than write all this, the equivalent of all this. So, because, you know, why not use our new features of our language? Well, one answer is because you pay for that CPU time every single time you compile and you look for the Windows path. And the second reason is we're going to have to do it this other way in C++ anyway. But it might not be slower enough to matter. I say, as I'm preparing a speech sometime that says it's always slower enough to matter. If you remember correctly, the cosine sine instructions are discouraged from being used since they could be slower than the software implementation. Yeah, I mean, what I should do is I should read the latest documentation about that stuff and figure that out. And you know what? If we need to have cosine and sine, that's cool. But even for stuff like floor, which we did last night, we probably should use the CPU floor, don't you think? Really, you know? That's all I'm saying. Okay. Well, so we have this visit file situation, and we can just do that. I mean, really, once we have our macro system with iterators, I'd rather do this as like an iterator, because when you have a visitor, you have to like pass it a procedure. It's like, okay. Let's just do it. Dude, let's just do it. Win10 version is a 4 of S32. We're going to say Win10 best is a procedure that goes short name string, full name string. This is going to be a little bit more of a pain in the butt than we would like, but whatever. Win10 best is goes short name, full name, and data pointer to capital M. And we're just going to say the best is just the most recent one, right? And we'll update that later. So if Windows 10 root, then we say visit files Windows 10 lib. We need to add lib onto this. Not recursive. We get a pointer to data, and Win10 best, and visit directories. Okay. We'll fix that in a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to have a, you know what? Like all of this just goes in here, right? And then if Windows 8 root, we're going to do a similar thing where we do this, we do this, we do this, we do this. We do that. Okay, so, and otherwise we return nothing. And our calling you thing says, just tells us what the return value was. Undeclared, oh, Windows 10 lib, right, because we have to say and then the Windows 8 lib was, oh, Windows 8 lib was lib win v star. Oh no. Do we actually need to do a wildcard there? Oh no. Wait. Do we have any Windows 8 kits installed? Like, how am I even going to test this if we don't? I'm going to have to install a Windows 8 kits. Oh, I do. Lib. Oh. No, we just want to iterate in lib again. Okay, actually, yeah, this is fine. It's the same thing. Okay. Okay, we got a kit 10.0.162.990. Never mind the crazy slashes. Because we're forward slashing in our stuff. It's like, yeah, whatever. Okay. We actually, don't we have a convert slashes routine? Yeah, so we want to do that on our return value. Yeah, I'll just do that. Okay, so we have all forward slashes. That's great. Let me try the Windows 8 root code. Why did we get? Oh, whoops! It's a good thing I tried that. Okay, Windows 8 also is finding it. Okay, so now we have to actually do the best thing. The scan implementation returns an array of any structs. So Ignacio wrote this, and I'm going to try using it, and I don't really know how it goes. We're going to try it. Okay, so we're going to say in our Win10 best, we're going to look at the file name, and it's basically 4 versions, right? So success any's is scan Let's look at that. Okay, well, we scanned numbers. All right. Well, let's just do this. Oh, value, it's not data, it's value pointer. All right. 10, 0, 10 to 40, 0, right? That's that. Great. Okay, so if I0 is greater than, let's call this best, data.best version 0, best equals true, else if, okay, here's what we do. We continue. Otherwise, it's greater than or equal, right? If I1, I2, I3, right? So oh. Yeah, this is not, this looks sort of the same as what the Zig code is, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Because we're going in order. We're prioritizing I0, I1, I2, I3. Okay. So if none of those are less, then they're all greater than or equal. All of them are greater than or equal, in which case we pick this one. So okay, let's see what happens. Cannot continue. Oh, this is not continue, it's return. We're just casting down. Don't mind us. All right. 16299. Is that indeed the highest one? Yep. It's also the last one listed, but that's maybe because this is lexicographically sorted. Let's, whoops. Let's see if we actually are getting that one last. Yeah. So just to test this, if this is working, we should be able to reverse these less thans to greater thans and get the lowest number, right? 10240. Except no, because we start out as 0. And yeah, we would have to reverse. Let's do that just as a test. It's stupid, but we want to make sure that we're not just taking the last one, because that would be a common failure. There we go. We got 10240. So this is working. What a pain in the ass, but it's working. And then Windows 8, we do the same thing. Does this scan? Oh, yeah. Okay, so this scan takes other text. So, you know, down here, we're looking at WinV whatever. And so for the Windows 8 best, so now we're going to comment out the Windows 10 root code. We're going to look at the Windows 8. And we're going to do the same thing, really. Let's just paste all this for a second. But it's just 2. It's just 2. So what does it say? WinV. WinV whatever dot whatever. Okay. And we've just got 2. We've got 2. We're going to call this best version again. Best name is full name. Best version. So it's basically, it's a mini version of the Win 10 routine. And hey, look, WinV 6.3. I think that's the only one, but yeah. So we are finding Windows kits. Now, the test of this so like I said, we're just going to prefer the Windows 10 root. We're only going to search Windows 8 root if we don't find the Windows 10 root. If we find Windows 8 root, we do this. And then we return nothing otherwise. Okay. Does that still work? Sure. And again, let's just say, what if that fails? Does the 8 work? Yes. Okay, so now we go back here, and we're going to get rid of these. Okay. Let's call this, so this hard-coded string here is for all of this, and we're just calling it libpath. Let's call this VC libpath, because now it's going to be just for the Visual Studio things. And then we're going to say kit root is find Windows kit root. Well, if we find the kit root, then, well, I guess we need to know if it's Windows 8 or 10. So let's go back there. Okay. Let's make this an S32. Who knows? Maybe they'll make Windows 2 to the 48, but we're going to fit it into an S32 for now. Okay, so if it's Windows 10, we return 10. We're immortalizing Microsoft's dumb, right? And Windows 0 if we don't find anything. All right. So we could also like try to figure it out from the name, but come on, we'll make life easy for ourselves. Okay, if Windows version is equal to 10, else it's assert Windows version is equal to 8, incomplete. Okay, if Windows version is 10, what linker lines do? We say array add arguments tprint whatever slash x64. Does our root that we're getting back, it doesn't have a slash at the end. I'm very inconsistent about that. That needs to be, like, I was thinking about using units. You know the way you have units in physics and stuff? There's other places you could use units, like, you know, is this in meters or feet, right? Is this like wall clock time versus game time? And one of them is like, is this path relative or absolute? Does this path have a frickin' slash at the end or not? You kind of want to know those things. Anyway. So we just do that. And if it's Windows 8, that's the MSVC. So what's he doing? Okay, UCRT libpath. UCRT include. We don't care about includes. x86, x64 ARM. Yeah, for cross-compiling, we will care about this. But we don't care now. So this is weird. I don't quite understand why it just has the Windows 10 code and then the Windows 8 code, but whatever. But it looks like the same thing, lib whatever Interesting, okay. We can test that, of course. So we just want both of these folders for now because we don't care about the exact path to kernel 32. We're just getting the libraries. Do I report an error? Yeah. Compiler report error. I don't know. I don't know where to report. Error. Right. I don't remember if I call these line or what. Error. Unable to find Windows kit root. Can't compile. Yeah. Well, oh. We should have redundant arguments now because we've got the old one and the new one. So we've got UMX64, UCRTX64. I can't, there's so much stuff in here. I don't see redundant arguments. Oh, I'm not, okay, duh. So the problem in the meta program, we don't have all our checking of printf arguments that you have in the regular program because it's not like bootstrapped into this environment, which kind of sucks, and we should fix that at some point. So I made an error here of just like not including kit root, which you want, not it root, kit root. And let's just go ahead and delete these. So either this works or it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Oh, because we have to like, we have to slash libpath and we have to quote it. What a giant pain in the ass. All right, let's see if that works. Hey, it works. So that's success. We get to declare success on the user side. Now, the thing is, the compiler itself needs to do this as well. But now user programs can find the Windows kit root. And that's great. We shouldn't have to do any of this. It should be easier than it is if we had to do it, but we did it. Yeah, I have to reply to Ryan and tell him about the bug in his code. But yeah. Have I looked in Lunarg Vulkan SDK? It is cross-platform Vulkan SDK. I am not at all interested in cross-platform Vulkan because it doesn't make any sense. It's just, if it's cross-platform, it's built on top of a different API, and the whole point of Vulkan is it's not supposed to be built on top of another API, so it's just lost its way. It doesn't make any sense. Vulkan has failed as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to hear about it. Frankly. Yeah, imagine Microsoft actually having an API which helped you compile on their different platforms. Yeah, it's so weird because you think they're all about that because they have this like, oh, it's the UCRT. It's like just one thing everywhere and it's so easy. That's supposed to be what they're trying to do, but they just make it harder and harder. It's crazy. It's like they say one thing and do another and they don't understand that that's what they're doing. All right. So this is great though, because we've reduced our hard-coded nastiness and, you know, we just have to write an equivalent routine, and we'll do that maybe in the next stream. We make an equivalent routine for these folders. You know, so you can, like, all this logic for version numbers is pretty much the same as what we just did. Of course, we have to do a version for Visual Studio 2017 and one for like 2015 and earlier. And again, we can refer to Ryan's code for what the folder structure should be for 2015. We know what it is for 2017 because it's this. But you probably, so for that one, of course, you can't query the registry. You have to like use a COM interface for some ungodly reason. Ignacio already did basic COM stuff, so thank God for that, because he was using that to talk to DirectX. So I won't have to write that myself. So we would just use that to talk to this. And that'll happen next stream. Are there any questions about what we did here? Will we release the language only when the game is finished, or will it happen before? Preferably it'll happen before. The language is not waiting on the game, no. We think your version number comparison is buggy. 2.0.0.0 will not be considered bigger than 1.2.3.4. You're right. You are correct. So Ryan's is buggy, but mine is also buggy. So if the version number is equal, then the next one has to be higher. Otherwise, it could be anything. So we have to do this. We have to do this cascading. We have to do this. Right. If this is greater, then we don't care about any of the other numbers. If it's equal, we have to keep comparing. I mean, it's basically... How stupid do we want to get about this, right? Because if it's basically a large integer compare, right, is all it is. So if you wanted to say, hey, these all fit into 16 bits, you could just do a 64-bit integer compare. But that might be too stupid and bananas, or it might just be simpler. What do you guys think? Who knows? Yeah, I mean, they're going to release version 364,000 and then that code will fail, I guess. But why did I even do all of this? Well, you can go back and watch the start of the stream if you're that interested. Yeah. Well, let's do it this way first. Okay. For entertainment value, we're going to do it this way. And you know, I thought when we were writing it that I had to do this, and then just the thought of typing this was so unpleasant that I convinced myself that we could do it the other way. Like I saw that happening in my brain when I was thinking about this problem, and just for some reason I didn't do it. Whoops, not if equals. Where did I, there we go. Okay. So we still find the Windows kit. That's great. And in theory, this isn't wrong anymore. But let's get stupid. I just want to get stupid because that's where I'm at right now. Should I get that stupid? Let's take a look at their version numbers. I don't know. These are already... Those are of such a magnitude that I wouldn't be surprised if one goes over 65,535. We could do them as 2 4-byte integer compares, but that doesn't help us that much. We could use a big num library. You sometimes write uncommented comments to crash the compiler at that location. Would it make sense to have something like the error directive in GCC? We have ways of reporting errors. That's not a problem. Like we have an assert directive. I can assert. I can compile time assert false. It's no problem. It's just why. Can't we just remove the dots and compare integers? What dots? These dots after data dot whatever? Dots in the version string major. No, you can't do that because you're assuming they're the same number of digits, which they won't be necessarily. Yeah, shove them all in one AVX register and do it. I mean, this is stupid though, right? Because this is an integer to integer compare. That's all that is. It's just this is a 128-bit integer. Actually, these are 64 each, right? So it's a 256-bit integer compare is all that we're doing. All right. Any other questions besides why is my comparison wrong? Do we have any other questions? What about putting I0, 1, 2, 3 into a small array using a loop? We could do that. It's just not, that's certainly not going to be faster. And by the time you do the loop compare, it's probably not really less code. I mean, this is not that much code. It's a little bit of an ugly chunk, but like a loop is probably going to be slightly less code, but not really. And then you have to declare the array and all that. By the time you do that, it's the same amount. Comparing numbers is actually an unsolved problem in computer science. Yeah. Is there language specs or design? No, there are not. Did I see the Go version 2 design decisions? Nope. Nope. I haven't looked at that. Is launching dead cells going to stay as a compiler feature? We'll see. Will we see rep Um, Probably not. Oh. By the time you put reps in here, it would be the same amount of code anyway, approximately. It just wouldn't. All right, let's find someone to host. Oh wait, let's check this in as our way of declaring victory and our way of, oh, let's run the tests. Like, nobody else should be calling any of that code that I just typed in, but we're just making sure the tests run. That's just what you do. When you want your software to work, you make sure the tests run. All right. Any chance of playing 2 Point Hospital? I never played Theme Hospital. I don't know anything about it. We might look at that. Did I fix Win8 best version? Check. Yes, in principle. Let's make sure it still works. Of course, I only have one Windows 8 kit installed. But it found that one, so it's not totally destroyed. Yeah, but see, like, that was the first thing I did, was put this else in there. What the heck is a Windows kit? Aren't you glad you don't know? All right, let's find someone to host. Not Pokemon. We could do epilepsy warning again, but I don't want to host the same people all the time, so we gotta mix it up. The new user experience, day 549.
That's what you have on your screen. And that's pretty much it, right? I have to give them information somehow. And I guess the other one's kind of the title. You can kind of use that to say something like, you know, what am I working on?
JavaScript. Yeah, let's not do JavaScript if we can help it. A dungeon crawler with spell crafting, but he's not really programming so much. I mean, maybe that's blueprints or something, but new dungeon system, epilepsy warning. This is game dev. Doesn't look like programming though. It looks like modeling or something. I just want to see some serious code. Kick ass and drinking water. A They Live reference is, that may just be an auto host. Except he's not programming either. And he's taking a break, so no host for you. Why is it so hard to find programming? Did the G-Sync talk ever happen? No, it didn't. Host play Dungeon Mans. Are unions and go-tos part of the language? Unions are currently, go-tos are not. Mainly because I just haven't needed to use a go-to ever. Where's Play Dungeon Man's at? I saw him before. What's he doing? Looking up laptops.
So yeah, the support I would need to
No mouse buttons. Crappy laptop.
get this done. And now,
Let's refresh in case something happened. Okay, we're not hosting JavaScript guy. That's just not happening. Is this one?
When we open one, we just need to.
That's programming.
I need to just.
It's
open
C
the
sharp,
browser,
but
correct? See what happens.
okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. TS coding. That content is unavailable. TS Oding.
Yeah, it will. If the amount of pages is even, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the first sheet of the book. And I also hate when we don't.
These are like
talking about books, we don't distinguish
programming
sheets
quiz
and
problems.
pages. Sheet consists of 2 pages.
Oh, but he's in Haskell.
One set.
Can I rant about laptops or decibels? Nah. All right, we're going to do Honest Dan games because he's working on games. I don't know. Okay, quick vote. Do we do games or do we do Haskell problem sets?
So basically, the back, to be able to print the last page in front.
Games, games, games. Most of the votes are saying games. All right, we're doing games. Maybe we'll do this guy next time. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I'll see you later.